Time for ratings. Those magical little letter symbols I give to things that people know that's what I think of them. So I'm not going to really fuck around the bush. I'm just going to give you a short explanation of why they got the rating they did, and then I'm going to smack the rating in the face. Smack it. Back of my gun, bitch. Right, Nintendo. Now, Nintendo gets plus points this year for not having Cammy on freaking stage, because that bitch just irritates the absolutely ever-living crap out of me. I do not like her at all. She winds me up. And of course, for the announcement of GoldenEye, they don't circle the drain. However, everything they announced was already known. Shit they announced was still flogging dead franchises. Like, the last original thought to come out of Nintendo was probably the Wii itself. There's been nothing really new coming out of Nintendo, period. And the whole thing about the freaking DS, that's the 5th iteration of the same fucking console, and it just aggravates me that they keep flogging that dead horse. And so for that reason, I'm going to give them a D. Nintendo this year gets a D, not an F, but a D. They could have done a lot fucking better having demonstrations that worked and not ripping off every possible franchise in their library and coming up with something fucking new. Moving on, Microsoft. Now, Microsoft this year, like I said, it was abysmal. I mean, all 3 shows were pretty fucking pathetic, but Microsoft's started off well and then fell flat in its fucking face. It was like a fat guy running uphill, and then suddenly someone ripped his shoes away from him mid-run, and he fell flat in his face and grinded halfway down the street on the asphalt with his fucking chin. Alright? The ESPN stuff, boring. It dragged on for far too long. Nobody in their right mind who's a hardcore gamer, or in any other country, it only really applies to the US. Anybody outside the US doesn't give a flying fuck about ESPN. Trust me on this one. We don't fucking care. Right? The Kinect stuff then picked up a little bit because there was some interesting, potential in those demos. There was some stuff that could have went really well. There's still future potential of the device. So that picked me up slightly, and then they went and smashed it back down again with the fucking retarded bullcrap about Stock Vision 2010. So, yeah. And then, of course, the end reveal. So, Microsoft this year gets a B-. That's a B-. Last year they got an A, this year it's a fucking B- because there was too much crap on fricking Natal. This conference, there wasn't enough exclusives, there wasn't enough gameplay, there was just kind of blah. No massive announcements either, so I was like, yeah, fuck you. Alright, Sony. Sony this year, yet another disappointing conference. They showed some exclusive titles, but they were all stuff we already knew about. Only one really major big surprise, which was Twisted Metal. Everything else was kind of samey. The demonstration of Move was a little lackluster, for my opinion. I was kind of thinking they should have done a little bit more with the whole augmented reality idea. Maybe go back into that test scenario the guy had with the sword and the crossbows and shooting the skeleton warrior things they did last year. If they'd, tweaked that, it would have been a bit more interesting. But no, they just hit you with a fucking iPad and go, oh, yeah, look at this, you can wash its hair with a freaking showerhead, blah. Nah. Of course, Sony, again, a travesty when they're banging on about the PS2. It's a dead console, fucking let it die. The PSP, they had some new announcement, new games for it, but nothing really groundbreaking. So, I'm not sure. I think Sony would have got a better rating had they not been so fucking boring. I was actually really ready to hand the crown over to Sony this year had they have not been so fucking dull. But Sony this year is going to get a B-. They're getting the same rating as Microsoft. I didn't feel either conference really tipped it in their favor. There was good and bad on both sides. Sony was just really fucking dull. I'm sorry if you disagree with me, but Jesus fucking Christ, I was so tired through that whole thing. And I'm struggling to find a reason not to give them a C. So I'm going to land them both with B-. That's my decision for this year. If you don't like it, well, my shiny codpiece is down here. Woo, look at my codpiece. And you can suck it. Because right now, I don't give a flying fuck. I just sat through freaking like 4 hours of crap in order to sift out the gems. So deal with it. Horse manure in your face. Check out my butt, and I'm leaving. Rah! Oh crap, I'm gonna fall! Ah! Ow. There's no floor down here.